I would define a black man in today's society as unvalued.
Black man in society, in one word, limited.
Perception is everything, and it just depends on how you perceive it.
I believe we're very underestimated.
Feared.
Prominent, we are educated, and we are versatile.
Black man in America is defined these days is kind of in a limbo.
We see a lot of crime, and with police officers killing African American young men.
And I think particularly there's a big stigma as well as many stereotypes that are attributed to the black male.
Especially all the recent events going on about Black Lives Mattering. It's like we're not being treated as the kings we should be, like equally like other races.
We're versatile, so in that we're able to contrast to any type of environment. I feel like we're very resilient.
I think that a black man in America, his intelligence, his physicality, his athleticism, you know, these are things that, when applied to blackness and black manhood, a lot of people seem uncomfortable with.
I don't think the black man actually has a defining spot, but it varies from what you see on TV and to what you actually see in regular day life. Before we can get society to view ourselves differently, we must carry ourselves differently.
Well, why don't you get a job and go to work?
You almost had me a job this morning.
Where?
I went down to the post office and asked that man, could he let me have one of them jobs as a letter toter?
No, Cotton, you mean a mail carrier.
And the man said before he could give me a situation, he'd have to put me through a simple self-examination.
No, stupid. You mean a civil service examination.
Washing all day. Rubs me up down. That's just the way she rubs me up down. That's just the way she rubs me up down. She wears her all and she rubs and knuckles right on down to the nut.
Stereotypes of black men today, you have a guy in a suit, or guy, in my case, you see me wearing a hat or dressed down, but there's still that kind of underlying message of inferiority.
Us being excessively loud, overbearing, not quite as intelligent, or just not measuring up the same as other races on the campus.
That the black man jumps the highest, runs the fastest. The black man isn't really interested in academic pursuits. That, you know, black people can dance, black people love chicken, watermelon, all those sorts of things. You know, there's the ratchet culture that's very popular.
Sometimes, you know, people tell me, you're one of those white black guys. And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, you articulate yourself well, you dress differently.
Oh, you're black, you don't know as much as we know. Oh, you're black, if we don't treat you a certain kind of way, you're gonna be like, oh, racist. I'm like, no, I don't want you to treat me any kind of way. I want you to treat me as you would treat others. You're black, so you're good at this, and you're black, you're bad at that. Why does it have to do with my color? I'm like, why can't I just be a person? My name is Robert, I'm good at this. My name is Robert and I'm bad at that.
Him down with a chokehold. The NYPD banned the use of chokeholds in 1993.
The sun, man. Man, dead, man. He dead.
Being able to shoot a black male or female or anybody at any point become normal. That's not normal. How do you sit and just take a life? I have a hoodie on today. If I put a hoodie on my head and walk outside right now, it's dark, am I gonna get shot? That's what comes to my mind most of the time. Am I gonna get shot?
It's frightening. It's frightening. It seems like, you know, there's a new occurrence that happens every day, and maybe these things were already happening. It's just that they weren't being reported at the volume that they are now. We should find a way to demand more of our municipal officers and different offices to treat us fairly. It's an alarming thing to see a different report almost every other day of someone who's been beaten or someone who's been shot or murdered.
I saw a very vast emotion of uncertainty swipe across the nation, not just only with black people, but our skin tone ties us into those circumstances. Our past, our ancestry ties us into those instances, and we don't know where a stray bullet is going to come from, or when we're going to be the next victim of police brutality.
Most of these victims, they're younger people, and so it's affecting our generation more so older generation. They've already been through riots and sit-ins and Emmett Tills, and it all comes down to the facts, and you can go against the grain and say what you think. In those cases, I believe it could have been decided either way, and that has nothing to do with me, but I'm just another guy trying to out here make it, so.
In all honesty, I'm scared. I have two younger brothers, and I'm frightened for them to be old enough to drive or walk to the store by themselves. They're bigger than me almost, and they could be seen as a threat easily.
I can't help but to look at that from not just like a normal black people perspective, but from a normal people perspective. You know, you have the media, you have these different interest groups, continue to put that big emphasis on race and racism.
There'll never be a nigger at sea. There'll never be a nigger at sea. You came from a dream, but don't never talk to me. There'll never be.
One day I was walking from a hill in my dorm. It was at night, and I was going to my dorm. I started walking down the hill, and this girl turned around and looked at me and just started running. And here I go. I look behind me because I'm thinking something scared her. It wasn't until I got down the hill that I realized that I was what she was running from. That hurt me. Not only that, I've been stopped in numerous occasions and asked, do I have drugs in my car, or where am I going, or did I steal anything from Walmart, because they just got reported that an African-American man stole something from Walmart. I can't go to Walmart and pay for my groceries without being harassed because somebody, white, black, or Hispanic, decided not to. And it's not fair for me or any of my peers to be stopped or interrogated for something that we did not do.
I've been pulled over in groups and cars. There was one period of time where I was riding with friends, and we pulled into my driveway, and a police officer pulled us over and pulled a gun out before he asked any questions and pointed it into the driver's seat. Before he told us that the car that we were in fit a description that was in a shooting around the area, but we weren't hostile, we weren't doing anything, and just any sort of mistake could have created a damaging and tragic situation. And as a young man, I don't want to put my family through that. I don't want to be taken out of this world. I feel like I have a lot more to live for.
When I was younger, around the age of 13 or 14, I walked into a store and I had on a hoodie and I was in my jogging pants, you know, just regular kid, you know, walking in, picked up some candy, looked at it, put it back down, and you know, and I went and I got something else, and I went up there and I checked out, and as I was walking out, the guy was like, hey, what you do with the candy that you did? I'm like, why would you think I'm taking your candy when I just came up and paid for the other candy, you know? And it's just, I thought that was like, just out the way. There's no reason for me to steal. Anything that I need, I can easily get on my own without stealing it.
needs to happen, needs to be more love. You have to guard your heart, but you have to be open to receive more love.
Because we can't do it by ourselves. We can't just stop somebody from being racist or committing an act of discrimination. We have to get them to understand from our side and get us to look from their side so that we can meet in the middle and discuss. That's the only way that it's going to get solved. Nobody's going to solve anything by fighting each other and throwing up. We have to come together and, make things happen,
The majority of black role models, they're either athletes, actors, something related to the media. I think we took that emphasis off of being doctors and lawyers. Everybody's not going to be Michael Jordan or LeBron James. Everybody's not going to be a Lil Wayne. When you have good leaders, then that's where progression comes from. We go in the right direction.